chose to evaluate the I Am Aware program because the work that they are doing is very consistent with many of the ideas about how social change happens in developing countries, how to involve citizens in making demands on their government.
This program was started in CDD Ghana, partly informed by the fact that when this center started, the focus was on national institutions. How do you improve democratic governance through national improvements in national institutions? But over time, it became clear that if you really want to improve democracy, it has to be from the grassroots, not just the national institutions.
To improve, our surroundings need to develop. That's why it's important to keep track of the progress of development in your districts. This is where District League Table, in short DLT, starts. DLT collects the information from all institutions, put them together, and create an overview of how districts are developing. With this, we are able to compare your district level of development to the other districts. We focus on 6 sectors in all districts: health, sanitation, education, water, security, and governance. With this information, you can see how your district is doing and ask national and local leaders for improvement. See, all these people are using the information from the District League Table to ask questions and engage with decision makers. Once we are asking questions, we increase the responsibility of leaders and citizens, and together we can call for progress and develop our districts.
But if you think of the Ghana's political system, all the regional ministers and the district chief executives are appointed by the president. And so the accountability relationship between local governments and citizens and local governments and the national government is rather reverse. It's more upward accountability than downward accountability. If you compare it to other countries where the district mayors or district chief executives are elected by the people, the election creates an incentive for them to want to deliver. In this particular case, the president is the one who appoints, and so the accountability is more focused at the national level and to the president. But in order for them to perform well and rank better on the District League Table, then they need to provide the services. And so the I Am Aware District League Table then creates the incentive for them to want to be responsive to citizens in order to, create a sense of being better performers and then reflecting what the national government would want to have at the local level.
We felt that this was a good time to look at what CDD Ghana and the I Am Aware program had been learning. They were in the process of thinking through the next phase of the program. And so we wanted to give them the opportunity and ourselves the opportunity to really make some informed choices about what that next phase of the program should look like.
Oxford Policy Management, which was the main evaluator of this program, partnered with Participatory Development Associates in Ghana. It's a local evaluation firm. And PDA, in short, has done a lot of work with CDD and other civil society organizations in Ghana in terms of evaluation. And their participation and the collaboration between Oxford Policy Management and Participatory Development Associates was crucial to the overall evaluation, largely because they brought in local insights that was relevant to this project. And given that much of the evaluation took place at the sub-national level, where you really needed to have people on the ground who understand to the context, and actually even have the access to be able to get the information you need to carry out this evaluation.
One of the key findings that's important to the field of transparency, participation, and accountability is that the type of information that you provide to people is really important. And the best way to know what is most useful to them is to ask them. CDD Ghana pursued a number of types of partnerships at the district level, including partnerships with local civil society organizations who had experience working in these communities and had a longer-term presence. They also created partnerships with media organizations that helped to not only communicate the findings of how services were doing and how it compared to other localities, but also to create opportunities for citizens to discuss these findings with each other, to discuss these findings with local officials, and to think through, okay, what are our priorities now for action? Evaluators also found that local governments were responsive. They were able to observe examples of governments putting additional resources into their budgets for some of the areas that citizens were concerned about, and actually then getting the work done in terms of, for example, constructing public toilets in the marketplace to decrease the problems with sanitation in public spaces. Where there is still a gap is with national government action. One of I Am Aware's goals was really to create a wider systemic change for improving services. And the evaluators were not able to really observe any specific policy changes or changes in resource allocation by the national government in response to the results of the district league tables. So it's really important that the national government not use the district league tables only as a stick or a punitive measure, but also that it uses that information to support local governments that may be struggling in terms of additional resources, providing them technical support to help them improve the quality of services in their region. The implications of these findings for the Hewlett Foundation is that we will continue to look for national level NGOs that are able to work across multiple levels, that have relationships with civil society organizations or civic groups that can provide support for using this information to make demands on local governments, but also that are able to kind of connect the dots back to the national level and use this information for advocacy to encourage national governments to do a better job of supporting the local governments that are struggling in providing adequate services to their citizens.